My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is August 20th, 2026. It is 5:03 a.m. This is video number 2. So let's go on X. I just did a video about Harry and Meghan that there's like a noise going as if they're going back to the UK. I don't know if it's true, but I have not come across any videos or statement, I should say, that says that Harry and Meghan are returning. Okay, but the UK is making noise. What I wanted to focus on is like a different topic, but I just came across some of these. There's that here. Let me pause this. Some new tweets that I just saw here. Let me just get them out of the way for you guys. Literally an hour ago. Me crying that I miss Meghan and needed her to come outside. Babe, that's not what I mean. Not this way. She really keeps me on my toes. There's the cry here. She knows my weak ass. Wherever she goes, I will follow. Alright, making reference to the noise that Harry and Meghan going back to the UK with the kids. And no statement have been put out. This is for a certain group of people who believe they own England and had a say in whether Meghan and Harry were allowed to come in the UK. You rats gas yourselves up. So much believe that it was up to you if the Sussexes were allowed to live in the UK. What now? Oh, okay, so there's all of that. These are just noise, okay? Okay, if you know, you know. Harry swaps, retires. All right, let's focus on what I want to share with you in this video. No more Harry and Meghan in this video. All right, I saw this. All right, there's the deck that broke out. I'll say I don't think it's last year. It could have been 2 years ago. There's this guy, looks like an Amish guy, who built a deck at a slope. It looks nice from the outside, but when I look closer, and I was like, yeah, it looks nice, but the way the spacing of the column, it looks so weak, and it not only weak, but the column was very thin. So something like that's what came to mind when I look at this. For instance, that is what is this about? Okay, this video is while U.S. Marshals were trying to conduct a raid in Missouri, but the balcony had other plans. Okay, you could look at this alone. I don't know how far is the spacing between this column with the next one. Okay, just by looking at it, just look at it. It's too weak, and for the height of it, it's too weak. They could have at least put, like, how would I say, like sandwich this maybe 2x4, maybe at least 3 of them together, okay, to make it much thicker, to be able to hold this. It's too thin. One of this is too thin. Let me see if I could find something. Okay, you see something like this? They could have done something like this. Sandwich it together, make it much thicker. And for the height of this, there should have been at least another horizontal to anchor it, to make it stronger still. Like bracing it to make it much stronger. Let me see if I could find something else. All right, to brace it, something like this. Okay, and between to make it much stronger. Or even if we're looking at the metal column, but it works the same way. Cross bracing. Okay, something like this. Different way to anchor it, because the thickness of the column vertically is too thin and for the height of it. They couldn't make sandwich several 2x4s together to make it thicker, or do something like I was just showing a few moments ago. Where is it? Something like this, okay, to make it much thicker, even if it's hollow in the middle. So it was too weak. The spacing, who knows how far the other one here. You see how thin it is? It looks so flimsy. Let me go like this. Oops. Okay, there it is. They broke. Who knows? Are they? Oh, we could see the spacing here. Yeah, the spacing from here to here is too far. Too far. Okay, to hold the entire deck like this. Too far and too thin. There should have been in between. The span of it is too far. Oh my God. And this is why, again, not too long ago, I was just talking about Trump, who's saying that making architecture not a professional type of thing. All of this needs to be looked at. And this is another reason why many architects, even though they do study structure, okay, load bearing and load calculation, but many architects don't do things like this. They don't do the calculation. They will send it to an engineer who specify in this type of things. So who knows? Whoever built it probably didn't even I don't know, have knowledge. They know how to build, but they, in terms of calculation, load calculation, to see the thing is too weak, too far. This column here, the span from here to here is too far, and then the column itself is too weak. It's probably a 2x4 only they use to do that. They try to do the anchoring, but you see where they put this here is to it should have been more like in the center. There's a term they use where the weakest part, it will break. This is where it will break, which means they could have put a cross bracing even from here to here, put something in the middle. Again, not only is too flimsy, too weak to withhold this entire thing. Now whoever's inside cannot even step outside. Oh my goodness. I would like to see, well, this is in Missouri, so they probably have different code for construction. But no matter where you are in the world, okay, load and design and all of that works the same way. You see, look at this. Those woods, those 2x4s to hold this deck is too weak and too high. They should have double it. All right, so there's all of them on the floor. This is okay. All right, the spanning maybe I would say 12 on center. The spacing 12 inches on center. This is fine, but it's what was holding it up. That's where the failure came from these. This is where the failure came. And then the attachment to the building. They have to do some attachment to the building, and they could have put another column on the other side to hold it much better. Yeah, it's the design of it is a failure. But anyway, let's go to the next street. I don't know why. Why I'm bringing this. I saw it. It caught my attention. And not too long ago, I responded to a video where this guy is saying, he was mocking about proud of himself, how nice the deck is, instead of paying somebody to do it. And either he was doing it for himself or something like that. And I was like, it looks nice and everything, but there's some failures that could happen. This is the thing people need to do. Do the calculation beforehand, before accident happen. So I was looking at this guy's doing the deck by himself. All right, building the deck frame alone, while a smooth job done by this guy. Well, it's a lower level. It's at the ground, so it's okay. Let me mute it. Okay, so that's the attachment with the against the building, the wall. So that's the other one should have done it as well, but because it's so high and so thick, they could have put 2 columns across each other and between the other ones. Okay, so there's all of that. Yeah, this is low, so it's fine. And this is the way you're supposed to do it anyway. All right, so you see, oh, let me pause for a second. Let me pause. Go back. You see that concrete foundation? Look how big. It's much bigger than the one that I was showing you on the other video. They could have done something like this. I don't even think the other one had a foundation from the way I was looking at it. I don't think it had any foundation. They just put it on the ground. Oh my God, so many violations. Okay, even though it would be much expensive because of concrete and stuff like that. All right. This one, which is much lower, you see the foundation, it's much stronger than the other one that you saw where those people fell. Let's move it closer. All right, so he's doing it much faster. Oh, you see the spacing as well? This is good spacing. Probably 12 on center. Oh, come on. Yeah, good spacing. He's actually doing much stronger than the one I just showed you. All right, so this is his guide for the spacing. Yeah, this is much stronger. You see, there's another cross bracing. That's extra strong. And it's not even high. Okay, you're putting in between to, that's where failure will happen, but the spacing and it's so low, he didn't actually need it, but I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. Alright, so you see it is put in a staggering kind of way. You should not put it right against each other like that. Put one here and then one here like that. Stagger it. Alright. Oh, he did stagger it. You see it? He did stagger it. This guy is pretty good. He knows what he's doing. When you look at it this way, you could see it. He's staggered. Pretty aligned. Very good. This is the way you should be building it. He's doing extra. Well, then again, that staggering part, you see the distance from the building, from the house to the exterior, the extent of the deck. Yeah, he does need it. But he's doing it extra safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. All right, let's go to the next street. All right, Dearborn, Michigan. What's going on in Dearborn, Michigan? This is not something you guys will want to hear, but I'm interested in it. All right, so let's see here. Dearborn refused to surrender to hate. January 6 participant Jake Lang led an anti-Muslim rally outside City Hall, declaring that America belongs to one religion and warning of a coming battle. I'm telling you, these people are crazy. This is exactly why our First Amendment has separate church and state. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right. Okay, I read this. Dearborn answered with the American he cannot tolerate. More than 30 churches, roughly a dozen mosques, and thousands of neighbors free to worship differently while praying for many of the same things. Religious freedom does not belong exclusively to Christian, Muslim, or anyone else. It belongs to every American. Dearborn stood up for it. All right, 2 minutes.
There's some angry people. There's some people that are trying to stay even keel and promote the real reason why we're here. We don't want our country taken away.
You know, this is the problem the country was going through, is that many of these things were happening subtly, very quietly, but it was happening to other groups. And many of these people stay quiet. That was the problem that led us to where we are now. So now it's affecting them. Now they're waking up. Again, I had to give shout out to the 92%ers and the 80%ers, because they didn't go right in front protesting to deter or distract, that's the word, distract the government, and to keep focus on them rather than what they were trying to do in the background. Okay, So I hope, like I've said so many times, the US is on a pedestal for the rest of the world to watch and learn. And so far, many other countries are doing so much better than the United States. The moment the Zionists popped up in their country, on their land, trying to take control of their land, the people they stood up and fight back. But what you are seeing right now in the United States, okay, how they're trying to take over the country. All right, again, 92%ers, the 80%ers, you need to pat your head, not your head, pat yourself on the back, because we understood the assignment. We knew what was happening. We warned them. Okay, so the moment they were trying to lure us into the street to protest, we were like, nope. But one thing that they are doing, however, people need to work in groups. You cannot work individually by yourself, because they are, especially down south, they are grabbing African American one by one. Okay, they have, I don't mention it too much, and I don't even think I've mentioned it. This might be the first time. There's a lot of lynching that's going on in the south, especially Mississippi. So if you are down there, don't walk by yourself. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3 then work for them, for African American. Now they are into the next step. They're grabbing them one by one. All right.
And if it comes down to it, you know, there will be a battle.
It's been brewing for a while. I lived here for 25 years. I've never seen it this bad.
Our forefathers would have stood for Christ just like we did. In fact, they signed a pledge, all 56 of them, to say this is a Christian land for their posterity.
Jake Lang loves to proclaim that he is a crusader against Muslims. Jake Lang loves to wear Temu armor without any plates in them to pretend that he's a soldier when he never served in the United States military.
Dearborn is home to more than 30 churches and roughly a dozen mosques. And each and every single week, tens of thousands of people walk through those doors to participate with their congregations. They may pray differently, but they pray for many of the same things.
These people, I'm telling you, there are a lot of empty mind. It's those hate group, or could easily be the Zionists who's stirring up, put nonsense on the internet to get these people rally up, and then they buy it. And this is why they're not teaching a lot of these things in the in school. So those influencers could fill their brain with nonsense. The country was built on the premises, I mean, it's not solid, there could be improvement. You could worship anything that you want, any religion. And they would try to create the separation church and state. But they brought the church right in the state. Unbelievable. And they're doing devilish thing. All right, next to it. I'm not going to go in the comment, okay? Oh, there's more people speaking. Okay, that I'll share. Okay? At Dearborn City Council just now, I said that Jake Lang and his crowd being here started last year when I object to a poor Hezbollah street sign, and the mayor responded by telling me I'm not welcome. All right, let's see here. 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Ted Barham, Dearborn resident. A lot of the problems that we are seeing here today started from something that happened last year, where I objected to a street sign, and then the mayor told me I'm not welcome
It's
here
very
for
low.
a parade when I leave the city, and later spread defamation about me in conjunction with others in the Arab American News and in Al Jazeera and in the Guardian newspaper, scurrilous and ridiculous defamation. That street sign is named after a journalist who says that the most important thing that he's ever done, he continues to maintain, is when he led the crowd here in Dearborn paying homage to the leader of Hezbollah. And of course, Hezbollah bombed to death hundreds of Americans in Beirut. Now, that's not just an isolated incident. That's the thing. It's representative of bigger problems. Imams in the biggest mosques in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights praise the Iranian regime, which has caused so much oppression to so many people. It's killed hundreds of thousands of people directly and through proxies. And my fellow Christians in Iran, which is a great concern to me, are extremely persecuted there in Iran. So these are legitimate concerns that we have. And I don't think it should be controversial to raise these concerns. Jewish people, you can paint a rosy picture of Dearborn. Jewish people are terrified of coming to Dearborn. I've talked to multiple Jewish people who said that. Also, my fear was justified. I said he's spreading violence. He could be interpreted as spreading violence in Michigan. And then a few months later, somebody attacked a synagogue full of 140 small children in West Bloomfield. So these are legitimate concerns. At the same time, I'm embarrassed with Jake Lang's so-called Christianity, this fake Christianity, which many people have said. I hope this doesn't put my Muslim friends off Christianity, because that's not real Christianity. Christ.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Represents love. I do want to say just a couple more things. First of all, I'm not racist, and I want to discourage that as well. I have dear Arab friends. I was speaking in an Arabic church on this weekend. And the last thing I want to say, giving credit where it's due, is when we had an Israeli Jewish man who came to Dearborn to Peace Park West, I appreciate how when there was a threat and I contacted the FBI, the Dearborn police came out in full force
sorry, your
to
tune
protect
has
him,
expired.
to speak about the
he's
tragic
too low. It's
loss
a waste
of
of
his
time
son, who
listening
was
to him.
murdered in Washington, D.C., and he spoke in love and in compassion to
But-
people in Dearborn who are experiencing loss. So I want to give credit where it's due to the Dearborn police and the Dearborn government for helping in that situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. But anyway, they standing up against hate. This question. Okay, I cannot share that picture of the, how do you call this? The Twin Towers. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. Alright, in my last video, I sort of showed this very quickly. Alright, all countries should ban Israeli citizens from entering their territory. Alright, let's see what this is about. 35-year-old Israeli arrested in Greece for allegedly causing a wildfire on Crete. 29 seconds. That image right here. Where is it? More like here. Where is it? Here. It reminds me of the thumbnails which I create from a vision. Okay. All gray. Just look on the screen. I'll put it side by side. Side by side. All gray, but unlike the sun is shining through, it's more bluish. But it's something like that I saw. I'm telling you, it looked like there's going to be a lot of fires in places, because that vision that I saw, I thought it was just cloud, but the cloud is probably just smoke. Oh my goodness. These people, what I see is happening here. Their plan, what's going on in the Middle East, their last part of their grand plan, I think, was to take down Iran. But Iran is winning. And I don't share many of those things, but it's almost, Israel is almost looking like Palestine. Well, it isn't Palestine, but it's flattened. That's what I mean. Iran is not stopping, because each time they come to agreement, Israel break the agreement and start attacking them again, and then it's crazy. What is that here? Breaking. Israeli tourists arrested for burning down the most popular forest in Greece. These demands must be banned everywhere. Unbelievable. He is a free man with a 10,000 euro bail. Shame on us. Oh my Lord. This looks like a face. All those fires around the world have been caused by these despicable beings. Yeah, look what happened in Argentina. All right, they create a law because there was a loophole somewhere, and then they caused the fire so they could buy the thing. Unbelievable. All right, let's see. I think the next tweet is talking about that as well. I didn't read most of those comments below it. Same footage, different caption. Breaking 35-year-old Israeli tourist arrested in Greece over Crete Island wildfire. He was accused of negligent arson after lighting BBQ in forest despite ban. It's time to ban Israelis from travel. Source: Times of Israel. Same image. Unbelievable. Then they do the same thing in Argentina. That's what I was just saying. Yes, they did. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't understand these people. I think they're using the same image. Also, there's that again. This demand must be banned everywhere. So it's the retweet. Making people, oh my Lord. It's like a freaking movie. Unbelievable. Jeez. Wow. Alright, so that's that. Let me go to the next one. I think I'm done with the fires. This is election. Alright. Angie Nixon just gave Democrats a lesson in fighting back. If wanting your neighbor to afford their insulin is radical, then call me a radical. If believing a mother should have to work 3 jobs to keep a roof over their family's head is extreme, then call me extreme. Nixon was outspent roughly 16-1 and still won Florida's Democratic Senate primary by 12 points. Okay? What just happened here, she won to be on the ballot comes November. That's where the main election is gonna happen, where she's gonna face off with a Republican. Each time I think Florida has it, they always come disappoint. Let's see what happened. All right, then she looked directly toward November. Ashley Moody can call us whatever she wants, but in November she will call me senator. Let's cross our fingers, because last election I really thought we got it. I really thought we got it, but they went on the voting booth. Something happened to their brain. This is what fighting for working people sound like. And especially what's going on in New York with Mohan Zandani, what he's doing, and the people recording themselves and things that the mayor's doing. Maybe that might rub off, but still, you still reading comments under the under those videos as if what Zohan Mandani is doing is bad. I'm telling you, every time I see these kind of things, I think of Scott Pelley.
But in this moment, this morning, our sacred rule of law is under attack. Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts. The fear to speak in America. Power can rewrite history with grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals. Power can change the definition of the words we use to describe reality. Diversity is now described as illegal. Equity is to be shunned. Inclusion is a dirty word. This is an old playbook, my friends.
They just fired him. Scott Pelley, one of the best journalists of his time, a staple of Sunday night on 60 Minutes, fired by Barry Weiss. Why? Because he had the courage to be a journalist, to call for accountability with the President of the United States, to call out his own network, a network that doesn't exist anymore. 60 Minutes is no longer because of Barry Weiss. CBS is no longer because of Barry Weiss, and of course, Larry Ellison and Donald Trump. This has been the takeover of one of the gems of journalism, and Scott Pelley just had to pay for it because he had the courage to speak out. But it all began last year when Scott Pelley had the courage to call for the continuation of journalism and call out the President of the United States. This is where I want to start before we get to the firing news. This is a sad night for journalism.
Where they glorify stupidity. 1 minute and 31 seconds.
If wanting your neighbor to afford their insulin is radical, then call me a radical. If believing a mother shouldn't have to work 3 jobs just to keep a roof over their heads is extreme, then call me extreme. But where I come from, okay, right here in Duval County, these things are not radical. That's right. They're not extreme. This is just basic human decency. It's caring for our neighbors. And I don't know about you, but I was taught to love my neighbors. That's what guides me. Some folks like Ashley Moody like to claim the mantle of morality, yet their actions tell a very different story. But we put actions behind our words. So Ashley Moody can call it whatever she wants. She can call us whatever she wants. But in November, she will call me Senator.
I hope so. I really hope so. All right. So I really hope so. There's a video I was thinking about Haiti. I'm gonna do it by itself and I'll share it with you. It has to do with what the United States, the Vatican, and many other groups wants to invade Haiti. So I'm gonna look for that video and create by itself and share it with you. The things that I see happening next door, they're really instigating Haitian. So I think what's boiling now is they're trying to make Dominican Republic to do their bidding for them. And I've been speaking a lot about Dominican Republic. Be careful. Just be careful. Just because you have the upper hand now, you have all the backing of these monsters. Do not listen to them because history will paint you in a different way. What you think may happen, even though Haiti is still on its knees, they're trying to build themselves up. It's still on its knees. You might think they are on their knees, you have upper hand. Faith might do something different. All right, let me stop. Let me see if I could find that video. All right, it will be this video. I'm gonna create by itself. All right. So thanks for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching.
Avanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.